Hello, I'm Grant Atkins and welcome to Alinea. It's been very rewarding, very challenging, and a tremendous amount of work, far more so than I ever anticipated. But all in all, it's gone pretty smooth. I can't complain. It's gone pretty well. My mother and father owned a restaurant, and so I was kind of brought up in that environment, and I think young kids like to, mimic their parents. But then I started questioning it when I turned about 17 and I started to graduate from high school. I said, well, do I really want to do this? And when I first entered culinary school, I was very inexperienced and didn't even really understand the scope of the career. Trio was huge. It really gave me my own voice. It was my first position where I was the chef, and it really allowed me to establish my style. It gave me the confidence to then move on and do this. I think the food inherently is different than what's going on most anywhere else in the country right now. And we've developed probably 30 or so new pieces of serviceware that help us convey this sense of whimsy or this sense of entertainment. The actual space was designed around the food, the entryway, the staircase, the philosophy of the servers, the way they interact with the guests. Even though it's at an extremely high level, but there also has to be a level of human connection. There has to be that creative kind of interaction between guests and the dining room. My role really hasn't changed. Being the owner, it places some level of other tasks to my day, but I like to cook. And when I'm in that kitchen, I love what I do. I'm cooking. So here we are in the Alinea kitchen, and today I'm going to make a tomato saffron sauce. Okay, so the first thing we do is we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil to this pot over a medium-high flame. What we have here is a little bit of garlic, about a tablespoon of slivered garlic, 2 tablespoons of sliced shallots, and a teaspoon of saffron threads. So we just want to cook that down slowly. The saffron will kind of leach out into that olive oil, start to turn it amber. We're using Sun-Gold cherry tomatoes for this recipe for a couple of reasons. One, they have a really nice acidity and sweet balance. And then the other reason, of course, is that they're orange, and we want the end result of this sauce to be more orangey from the saffron and the tomatoes. About 1.5 cups. The sauce is pretty versatile, but mainly for seafood dishes or vegetable dishes. Lobster, any type of fish like halibut or bass, or even if you were a vegetarian, you could use it for, summer squash preparations, zucchini, that sort of thing. So the next step, once the tomatoes have cooked out for about 15 minutes, is we're going to start to whisk in some butter. Probably about 4 tablespoons in all. Once all that butter is emulsified in or melted in, then we're going to pour that contents into the blender. That was on high for about 90 seconds. Now we'll strain it through a fine strainer. You can see the bright yellow-orange color from the saffron and the Sun-Gold tomatoes. Basically, all we're doing here is pulling out the residual skins that didn't break down in the cooking process. Then we'll season it with just a little bit of salt, about a teaspoon. And you can keep this sauce warm, make it ahead of time. Keep it warm until you're ready, until your fish or whatever you have is cooked. And that's the tomato saffron sauce. Enjoy. Service starts at 5:30 and sometimes can last until 1:30 in the morning because our menus are so long. If people sit down, at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, they're eating until 1 in the morning or 1:30 in the morning. It's really just creative cuisine that's meant to have an experience for the diner that's very emotional. We want it to be fun, we want it to be exciting, we want it to be challenging, we want it to be all these things, and when you tie all those together, you have a very complex, rewarding experience as the diner. The food, the experience is meant to entertain. I think people, once they leave after being here for 3.5 hours, they walk out and they're like, wow, that was, not only did we have a good meal and we're satiated, but that was a great time.